Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you enjoy these videos, please like and subscribe, and thank you for joining me today. So we have learned that Prince Harry and his wife Meghan Markle will no longer be known as Royal Highnesses. So they have surrendered their top titles in order to separate themselves from the royal family. They will also repay millions spent on renovating their mansion, and they will step back from their royal duties. So now this also brings up a few questions of what is this going to mean? Now, Harry's official title was His Royal Highness the Duke of Sussex, and Meghan's was Her Royal Highness the Duchess of Sussex. The statement does confirm that they have lost the HRH part. So I'm just confirming that. When Princess Diana and Sarah, the Duchess of York, divorced their royal husbands, they too lost their Royal Highness titles. So it's going to be interesting to ask the cards a few questions about this, and this is how I'm going to form the questions. So the first question I'm going to ask is, how will this influence or affect Harry, Prince Harry? How is this technical title, loss of that part of the title, going to affect Harry? Is it going to have an influence on him? So we have the Chariot here. The Chariot is a card that initially, when you think about a chariot, you think about going into battle, right? Going into battle. This kind of also reminds me of being in the war or being in the military. It's kind of one of those. Oh, wait a minute, being in the military. So I believe that this is going to influence him as far as his association with the military. So that will be interesting to see what kind of influence that has. And on his, he was in the military. And okay, so this, I wish I had a little bit more knowledge. So I do know that Harry served in the army for 10 years, rising up to the rank of captain. And he undertook 2 tours of Afghanistan. So somehow it is possible that an influence on the military side of it would have an effect on him with this card. So let's pull another card and see. Page of Swords. So he seems to be in kind of like an angry, disappointed, not sure what his new role is. And with this kind of anger that I see with him gripping the sword, which is the spoken word, he may say some angry things, because the Page of Swords can be expressing, anger through words. And this is the 3 of Cups, so he's going to be definitely focused on relationships. The 3 of Cups is about your connections. It's a group of women that are celebrating, and they're definitely connecting together. And this is the 7 of Cups, is now he's got to decide what his new role is going to be. It's almost like the 7 of Cups, it almost feels like he could have an identity crisis, because we have the castle here and all of the benefits of the castle, and this would probably be Meghan, and now there's a veil over here, and he's got to be careful of the snake, the people that would take advantage of him. It looks like he's going to go through a period of confusion, which would be normal for someone to go through something like this. But the World card indicates that this is going to work out. When the World card shows up, it means that he will sort through all of this, find his role. He will find his role in his new role, I should say, and how this is going to ultimately affect him long term. But it looks like with the World card, it's going to be a cycle, and then he will figure this out. How will this affect Meghan? I'm going to use a little bit different deck for her. This is the Connolly. And I'm going to ask, how is this going to affect Meghan losing the title and all of the press that goes along with this? How is this going to influence? Wow. Right off the bat, I pull the World. That is the top card of the tarot deck. And I pulled it for Harry and I pulled it for Meghan. And I want to explain to you a little bit about what the World card is, because it came up for both of them, which is a chance of 1 in 78, and they both indicated, or it showed up for both of them. So something is really big is going on with both of these. And I'm going to say that there could be a hand of fate, like this could be fate, because the World can be a card about fate, like you're coming into your own fate. So this is going to be one of those cards that makes me want to pull some confirmation cards around this, as both of them having the World card, they could both have a really big influence on the world in their future. I mean, this is very interesting that they both got this. I'm going to say something big is coming. It's a card about completion, starting a new cycle. I mean, this is weird. I'm just like sitting here going, wow, what do I do with this? So I'm going to put it aside, and I'm going to pull another card and just do confirmation or clarification on this World card, because this is huge. Okay, so after a period of struggle. So this is the Three of Wands, which, in this card, it's portraying struggles. But in the regular card, it's someone who goes on their own entrepreneur, and making connections. And it could be, this is other countries, making connections in other countries. The Three of Wands also does that. So they are literally going to be worldwide people. I mean, they're going to be out in the world in a really big way. So this is the Six of Swords. So Meghan feels that she's been victorious in moving out of a difficult situation. So now in my readings, I don't judge whether they are good or bad, or, if the cards indicate that there's some poor behavior, I will be telling you, because I just read the cards on this. But I certainly don't attach myself to any of their judgment. Like, I'm not prejudging. I'm just reading these cards as they come up. So this just means that Meghan's focus, what she thinks it's on right now, what she thinks she has her feet firmly on the ground, there's something new coming. Something is going to, she thinks she's rooted here, but she's going to actually shift her focus onto something else. And so both of them are going to go through some major changes. This is the Six of Wands. So you can kind of see like things are kind of like messy right now, like as far as their living conditions and how this is going to affect them. This is going to be a card about, it can be the victory card. So it can mean that they are going to have success at what or she is going to have success, but it comes with a great deal of loss, pain, and suffering. This is the card, that this can be also a victim card, like somebody playing the victim role. Like she could be at some point like portraying herself as a victim, and you know how play me the fiddle again kind of saying. So sometimes the Seven of Swords comes up as somebody who, you know, it feels like they're a victim, or that they've been, you know, not treated properly. And I just made a mess out of my cards. This is the Magician. This is starting something new, but when it comes next to this card, it can be a little bit of manipulation. So it can be that maybe she's going to go through a little period of like some manipulation. She could be a little bit manipulating in some areas. In other words, wanting things to go a certain direction in her life. And if they're not going that way, she could be that usually the manipulation card comes up, that she's wanting to control things to get them to go, you know, in her way. But with the World card, she doesn't really have a whole lot of say, and neither does Harry, because the World card, when that comes up, it usually means a part of your life is out of your control. Like this is fate, this is destiny. And this is like the large institution. This can be literally the government of Canada saying, hold up here, let's figure this out now. And so there is yet to be a decision made. This is the hold up card. So what their future is right now is kind of dependent on, you know, quite a few factors going in their favor. You know, for one of them would be Canada, and the decision there of what their income's going to be. I also want to ask why Prince Charles has kind of remained silent. I don't know if that's right or wrong, but he kind of hasn't really voiced a whole lot about this. Let's just see. Maybe he did it in private. Well, here we go. It's hidden. He's just keeping silent. So this is secrets and silence. So I don't even have to pull anymore, because he's going to be secret and silent about it. So that's the High Priestess. So that's very interesting. I also wanted to ask if Meghan had any kind of, I'm going to ask this for both of them. Does Meghan have any kind of a hidden agenda going on, like a hidden personal agenda? Does she have anything like that going on? So she's got battle energy right now. Well, that would make sense with fighting the newspapers and all of this. And she wants to be, this is kind of the rich and famous card. So I guess if she's got, this is actually my royal card too, by the way, because of the falcon and the purple. I don't know. It's always been kind of a, when I do readings on, and this card comes up, it's someone who wants to be rich and famous. But there's some challenges here. So I guess her main objective is she wants to be independent. She's fiercely independent. This is what the Nine of Pentacles are. And she wants to have wealth. So that is one of her agendas. There could be more, but that's the main ones that I'm picking up on. Does Harry have any hidden agendas that he's working with? He was just in the mode of leaving. So he was in the mode of leaving, emotionally detaching. And okay, when the High Priestess comes up, I usually don't dig too much further, because he's just wanting his agenda to stay silent. He doesn't want it put out there. That's a card about secrets. Same thing came with the Prince Charles card. So then I just kind of like, okay, so he hasn't either decided or he wants to keep that secret, and I guess I will just, honor that, because the High Priestess does talk about secrets. So anyway, at any rate, I'll just ask for a final card on what the situation with losing their titles is for the both of them together, and we shall see. So, okay, so this is seeing things from another direction, but this is also having to suspend or having to wait, like having a period of waiting to see what's going to happen. And there again, there's opportunities here, but they haven't anchored in on any of them. And this is the Eight of Wands. We don't know the rest of the story. This is the card about we don't know. And the same thing with the Hangman, kind of waiting here. We don't truly know how this whole thing is going to play out, because there's too many variables here that could change things for them. So that is You know, one last question is, I'd like to know right now, are both of them happy? Are they like happy right now? It's kind of an interesting question. Oh, okay. Well, I think that this would, Harry kind of feels a part of him is like there's abandonment, like kicked out of the castle. Like, I think they probably wanted to leave, you know, but it just feels like there's an internal feeling of being kicked out of the castle. That's the feeling that, so I think things are a little bit upsetting for them right now because of, you know, the situation. But the Chariot card will indicate that they're going to, you know, regroup. They're going to regroup and figure this out. So the Chariot card just means, you know, that they will gain control, better control of their lives in the future. See, he's controlling. He's got the reins, get the reins on and, you know, get a focus of what we really are going to do. So there is going to be a period of chaos. And with the Tower card, it's not small chaos. It will be pretty big chaos going on there. Thank you for joining my channel.